In the early 20th century, the rules were simple. Black women were relegated to the back-breaking toil of domestic service, the wash basin, the kitchen, the cotton field. But one woman dared to break those rules, to create her own economy, and to redefine what was possible for her race and her gender. Sarah Breedlove would become Madam C.J. Walker, a beauty titan, and America's first female self-made millionaire. Born in Delta, Louisiana in 1867, Sarah was a historical anomaly, the first child in her family born free after the Emancipation Proclamation. Her parents, Owen and Minerva Breedlove, were former slaves turned sharecroppers. But freedom did not bring comfort. Orphaned by age 7, Sarah moved in with her older sister, Louvenia, and the two worked in the cotton fields. The struggles of her youth led to an early marriage at age 14, a choice she later said she made to escape the abuse of her brother-in-law. By age 20, she was a widowed mother to her daughter, Lelia, and forced to choose between the cotton fields and the stifling work of a laundress in St. Louis, Missouri. She chose the washboard. "I was at my tubs one morning with a heavy wash before me," she recalled. "As I bent over the washboard and looked at my arms buried in soap suds, I said to myself, what are you going to do when you grow old and your back gets stiff? Who is going to take care of your little girl?" For over a decade, Sarah's days were a relentless cycle of hard labor, earning just over $1 a day. Yet her determination was fierce. She saved enough to send Lelia to public school, determined her daughter would have the education she never did. Her personal crisis began in the 1890s, a severe scalp condition and balding, a common affliction at a time when indoor plumbing and regular bathing were still rare luxuries. She sought a solution desperately, trying countless remedies. This quest led her to Annie Turnbow Malone, another black entrepreneur selling hair products. Sarah worked as a sales agent for Malone, gaining invaluable experience in the burgeoning black beauty market and learning the chemistry of hair preparations. In 1905, Sarah relocated to Denver, Colorado, and decided to launch her own product. Her first creation, Madam Walker's Wonderful Hair Grower, was a medicated pomade with petroleum jelly and sulfur. Designed not for straightening, but to heal the scalp diseases that caused hair loss, the product worked, and the demand exploded. After marrying Charles Joseph Walker, a newspaperman, she rebranded herself. She adopted the sophisticated French title Madam and used his name, creating the distinct identity, Madam C.J. Walker. Charles helped with advertising, placing aggressive and savvy ads in black newspapers that announced the arrival of a new authority in hair care. The foundation of her fortune was not luck, but a relentless hands-on marketing strategy. Madam Walker traveled across the South and Southeast, enduring Jim Crow laws, staging highly theatrical lecture demonstrations at churches, lodges, and community centers. She didn't just sell a jar of cream. She sold a comprehensive approach she called the Walker system. This system emphasized 4 key elements: regular washing with a vegetable shampoo, a specialized temple grower for the scalp, the use of hot iron combs for styling, and her trademark pomade. It was a complete package, a commitment to cleanliness and loveliness, as a mark of respectability and pride for African American women. In 1910, Walker made a critical business decision, moving her operations from Pittsburgh to Indianapolis, Indiana. This was no accident. Indianapolis was the crossroads of America, a major rail hub that was perfect for her expanding mail-order business. Crucially, it was also home to a burgeoning, educated black business class who could help her manage her growing corporation. She built a new headquarters for the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company, complete with a factory, a beauty school she called Lelia College, and a research laboratory. She had shifted from a traveling peddler to a fully incorporated industrialist, creating high-quality products under her own watchful eye. Madam Walker's greatest innovation may not have been her product, but her distribution network. She trained thousands of black women as Walker agents or beauty culturalists, providing them with lucrative work and an escape from the oppressive domestic labor sector. These agents did more than sell. They were community leaders teaching hygiene, self-care, and professional skills. She instilled a fierce pride in her agents, offering healthy commissions and competitive bonuses. By the time of her death, she had employed an estimated 40,000 agents in the United States, Central America, and the Caribbean. I'm not satisfied in making money for myself. I endeavor to provide employment for hundreds of the women of my race. This quote perfectly encapsulates the dual purpose of her business model, profit and empowerment. Walker's belief was that financial success came with a moral obligation. Her giving started before she was a millionaire, rooted in the long tradition of collective giving in Black communities. She donated substantial sums to the NAACP's anti-lynching fund, the Black YMCA in Indianapolis, and to various Black schools and colleges. Her generosity was a deliberate act of racial uplift, challenging the prevailing notion that Black people could not be powerful philanthropists. Walker leveraged her influence for political change. After the horrific East St. Louis race massacre of 1917, she joined a delegation of prominent Harlem citizens to travel to Washington, D.C. and petition President Woodrow Wilson. They demanded that he support federal anti-lynching legislation. She also urged her vast network of Walker agents to get involved in civil and human rights. At her 1917 convention, the agents passed a resolution denouncing lynching, using their collective economic voice to demand justice. Her company was an engine for commerce, but it was also a platform for activism. In 1918, in an unprecedented move, Madam Walker built her dream home, a $250,000 Italianate mansion named Villa Lewaro in Irvington-on-Hudson, New York. It was designed by Vertner Tandy, one of the nation's few Black architects, and situated near the estates of America's wealthiest families, including the Rockefellers. This was a profound statement. It was a visible, undeniable declaration of Black success and refinement in a world that sought to deny both. Walker intended for the mansion to be a showplace for the race and a gathering space for Black luminaries and intellectuals, directly influencing the burgeoning Harlem Renaissance. Madam C.J. Walker died at Villa Lewaro on May 25, 1919, at the age of 51, due to hypertension and kidney failure. Though reports varied on her exact worth, she was recognized as a self-made millionaire, a status unprecedented for a Black woman in America. Her funeral was a dignified affair, attended by leaders of the business, civil rights, and religious communities. Her daughter, Alelia Walker, a vibrant socialite and patron of the arts, inherited the company presidency. Alelia ensured the completion of her mother's final, grand vision, the Madam Walker Theater Center in Indianapolis, which opened in 1927. The Walker Building housed the factory, a salon, a drugstore, and a lavish theater, making it a cultural and economic anchor for the Indianapolis Black community. It stands today as a National Historic Landmark, a living testament to its founder's dual mission of commerce and culture. Madam C.J. Walker's legacy is not just the products she sold, but the economic ecosystem she created. She didn't wait for opportunities. She created them, paving the way for generations of women entrepreneurs. Her life is a powerful, inspiring story of resilience, vision, and the unwavering belief that business success must be a catalyst for social justice. The self-made millionaire, the philanthropist, the activist, Madam C.J. Walker's indelible mark on American history continues to inspire.